What's up, YouTube? Today we're reviewing the 2022 Chevy Tahoe Z71. Huge thank you to Felipe Portillo over at Koons, Tysons, Chevy, Buick, GMC for allowing me to do this review for you guys today. If you're interested in this particular Tahoe or any GM product with the exception of Cadillac, I'll have his information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. First, let's talk about the exterior and performance. And the observant viewer may be able to note that this is the Tahoe Z71. You'll be able to tell that by the Z71 emblem right here in the front grille, as well as the Z71 emblem on that front fender right there. And taking a step back, what you get with the Z71 trim level are these black bow ties, both front and rear, as well as a black front grille. You also get this high approach angle front fascia right here with these red recovery hooks and a skid plate down under here. You also get these 20-inch wheels wrapped around in Goodyear Wrangler Trail Runner AT tires, which are pretty aggressive. We'll take a little look right here. And you can get an optional multi-spoke black 20-inch wheel, which I definitely think is worth looking into. I think those wheels look just a little bit better than these wheels, but I'm not knocking these wheels by any means because I think these wheels look very, very good in and of themselves. But you can also get optional 6-piston front Brembo brakes for $2,995. So if you want to stop on a dime or you trailer often, that might be an option that you might want to look into. The Brembo brakes are red, and you can also get red brake calipers in the rear as well. However, those brakes are not Brembo. Black Tahoe badging right here. Black window trim surrounding the windows on the side. Black roof rail up top, and this all comes with the Z71 package, as well as a running board right here that also is included on the Z71 package. We'll move to the rear. Like I said, at the front, you get your black Chevy emblem right there and your black Tahoe badging. This is a power liftgate, so all you got to do is have your key in your pocket and push that button right there, and the tailgate comes up and reveals a good amount of space back here. Obviously it's not the biggest, but if you want a little bit more storage space, you can put these seats down by pushing these buttons right over here. So all you got to do, push that button and the seats fold down just like that. I apologize, we got a little bit of construction going on right over there, so if you guys hear that beeping, that's what that is. You can also put the third row up by pushing these buttons again, just like that. You can also fold down the second row from right here by pushing these two buttons twice. However, you cannot bring those seats back up. You have to manually put those seats back up if you want them to come back up. You also have a household outlet right here as well that you can turn on from the front. Close this power tailgate just by pushing that button right there. You can also open up the rear liftgate by the button on this key fob right here. As you can see, just click that button twice and it'll pop open. But as you can see, there's a button right under that. Click that button twice and this rear glass piece pops out. So if you got a big load and you don't want to open up your tailgate going down the highway, you can open up this piece of glass and have just, you know, that much more space. If you're like carrying wood or something like that, you can throw the wood through this rear glass rather than having the whole liftgate open while going down the road. So that's a nice feature that Chevy incorporated onto this Tahoe right here. Close it just like that. LED tail lamps as well as halogen turn signals back here. You got a Chevy emblem in the tail light right there as well. Take a step back. Max tow capacity with the max trailering package is 8,400 pounds, which is pretty good for a vehicle of this size. And you know, you can pull your boat to the boat ramp as well as having your kids in the rear, so that's definitely a plus with Tahoe right there. Again, more of that black badging, 20-inch wheels, Z71 right there. Moving to the front, you do have LED headlights as well as an LED daytime running light right here, and you have LED turn signals. But let's get into performance. This does come optioned with the 5.3 liter V8 that makes 355 horsepower and 383 pound-feet of torque, and that all goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission that's able to push this Tahoe from 0 to 60 in 7.5 seconds. And with that number in mind, you're also able to achieve 14 miles per gallon city and 19 miles per gallon highway with the 4-wheel drive configuration that this comes optioned with as well. So let me pop that hood and I'll show you guys the 5.3 liter V8. And there's your 5.3 liter V8. You can option the Z71 with the 6.2 liter V8 that makes 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. However, you cannot option the Z71 with the 3 liter Duramax that makes 460 pound-feet of torque and just gets a little bit better gas mileage. So if you're looking to get one of these Tahoes and you want it to get good gas mileage, definitely take a look at the 3-liter Duramax. That achieves very, very good gas mileage, but like I said, you cannot get the Z71 with the 3-liter Duramax. Let's close this hood right here. It's actually a very light hood, very easy to close. You get your shark fin right up there, and obviously 2022 vehicle, so you do have keyless access. All you got to do, have your key in your pocket, and if the vehicle is locked like it is right now, all you got to do is push this button right there, and it opens up. And that button is on all 4 doors, so you can unlock the vehicle with the key in your pocket from all 4 doors. But before we move into the interior, you got your blind spot monitoring right there, as well as a camera right here and a camera right here, followed by your front parking sensors. You also have rear parking sensors as well as a rear view camera. But move into the interior here real quick. I'm gonna open up this door so you guys can look at this right here, and you have this little sticker right here that you guys asked me to show you guys in my videos, so I will incorporate that right there. If you guys want to pause your video, you can do so right now. I'll also show you guys these 2 stickers right over here for trailering information. So if you guys want to know max tow capacity for this particular vehicle, here is your opportunity to do so. There are your 2 stickers right there. This is your key fob. You do have remote start, so all you got to do is lock the vehicle and push this button twice and it'll fire up. And once it's on, if you want to turn it back off, all you got to do is click this button twice again and it'll turn the vehicle off. Looking at the door panel, nice little wood trim accent right here, followed by a little bit of aluminum trim surrounding the wood. Just a really nice door panel, nice leather materials, followed by this contrast stitching right here. Aluminum door handle, aluminum trim piece that goes around the door handle, unlock, lock button. Nice padded armrest right here for those long road trips that you guys will probably be doing in your Tahoe. So definitely very comfortable to rest your elbow right there on a long road trip. 2 memory seat adjustment settings, and this particular Tahoe does have the luxury package. So what you get with the luxury package with the memory adjustment seats right here, it'll memorize your outer 2 mirror settings as well as your steering wheel setting and your seat settings. So that's a nice little feature. So if you got a couple different drivers, it'll basically memorize this mirror, that mirror, the seat, as well as the steering wheel right there. Automatic up and down windows in the front, but only automatic down windows in the rear. Here are your mirror controls. By pushing this button, the mirrors fold in. Just like that, and you can see me. Push that button again, and they fold right back out. And good amount of storage space here on the door. I'll put my Deer Park water bottle right here for size reference. So tons and tons of storage space on your door pocket right there. And I'll put it like that so you guys can just get a little size reference of how big the storage space is down in there. 9-speaker Bose sound system, sounds very, very good. You got your Chevrolet door sill right here. Power driver as well as a power passenger seat. Grab my Deer Park water bottle and set it right there. 2 cup holders in the middle. And we'll step in and fire her up. So new for 2022, as you see when we fire up, you have a new 12.3-inch screen right there that is standard on every Tahoe but the LS trim. So yeah, that's definitely nice to have. And when you start it up, or when you first get in it, it says Z71, and it's got like a little rugged background because this is the off-road version of the Tahoe. Right over here, electronic parking brake. I'm gonna turn this HVAC system off right here. Electronic parking brake, lane keep assist. This is to turn on or off your parking sensors in the front and rear. Traction control, hill descent control, 360-degree view camera button, which is really nice. And it's a little redundant because you can also do that from the screen right here by pushing the cameras button right there. But you know, if you're going through a drive-through and you're like, ooh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to fit, just a nice be able to push this button right here and the camera will pop up right there. Like I mentioned, 360-degree view camera, so you can see that on your left side of your screen right there, and that is the forward-facing camera right there. If we throw her into reverse, you got the rear-facing camera right there, but we're gonna throw her right back into park, and I'm gonna turn the camera button off. And like I showed you guys in the rear, you do have that household outlet, so to turn on your household outlet, push that button right there, and you can see there's a little green light telling you that it is on. Like I said, this particular Tahoe is 4-wheel drive, and I'll pop that door open for a little more light. And like I mentioned, this Tahoe is 4-wheel drive, so you got your 4-wheel drive auto, 4 high, 2 high, and 4 low. This is your driving mode dial. You have 4 different driving modes. You got normal, sport, off-road as well as tow haul mode, but I just keep it in normal because, you know, I'm not doing any sporty driving in this Tahoe. These buttons right here adjust the brightness of your screen as well as the brightness of these buttons right here at night. Headlight controls right here. Like I said, LED front headlights as well as LED tail lamps. Panoramic sunroof right here. That is a $1,500 option that I think is worth it. Really makes the cabin just a little bit more open and airy than it would be without that option. But moving to this dash right here, you got 4 different dash layouts that you can do. You got classic, which I'll show you guys. It'll move into classic right here, as well as progressive. Move into right here. Digital layout right here, and clean layout right here, which really reminds me of like a Lincoln Navigator, where it really doesn't have much going on besides the speedometer. And I actually really like this because sometimes you don't really have to worry about much besides your fuel range and your speedometer. So that's definitely a nice thing to have right there. As you can see right down there, it says we're in normal mode, 2-wheel drive, and we're in park. Moving over to here, you do not have a gear shift lever anymore. You do just push into park, pull to go into reverse, push to go into neutral, and then pull again to go into drive. But when you first get into the vehicle, it says you have to put your seatbelt on in order to shift into reverse, neutral, or drive. However, if you let that screen just disappear, it'll let you shift into reverse, neutral, or drive without your seatbelt on. So if you're just moving your car around the driveway, I could see how that could get kind of obnoxious, but it's definitely a nice safety feature to have if you forget to put your car in park, which hopefully none of you guys do. Black Chevy emblem right here. This is for your forward collision warning right here. You got your gap adjustments. So super close, just a little bit farther, and super far. Cruise control right here. You got your heated steering wheel. Phone controls, as well as these buttons right here control the screen in here. Like I said, I like to keep it on clean. But this dash layout is basically kind of like a C8 Corvette. So if you guys have been in a C8 Corvette, you guys know how this screen works. But it's pretty cool. I actually really like this new dash layout. I don't know, I'm just a fan of it. So basically, like I said, it's very configurable. You can basically configure it to how you want it. But personally, I like to leave it on clean. I think like it looks the cleanest, obviously. But yeah, that's just my personal preference. 9 miles on the odometer. Like I said, if you guys want to pick up this particular Z71, I'll have Felipe's information in the description box down below. But moving on to over here. For 2022, you do have Google Voice Assistant as well as Maps and App Store. So this is basically like a Google infotainment system right here. And if you're coming from like a 2020 or a 2021 Tahoe, it takes like a few seconds to get used to. But once you get used to it, it's actually very intuitive. You got your home screen right here. You got your music stuff right here. You got your Google Maps, which I actually really like. However, most of the time, I personally use Waze. So I use Apple CarPlay. So to get into Apple CarPlay, click that home button, click the home button again, and you can see that you got your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto right here, both wireless. Got Google Assistant, Bluetooth phone stuff. Like I said, you got your Google Maps stuff right there, and audio. So if you want to go AM, FM, Sirius XM, you would go through right here. I really like this 10.2-inch infotainment screen. Like I said, you do have wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, and a Wi-Fi hotspot if that is something you want. And like I mentioned, this does have the luxury package. So what you get with the luxury package, which is a $2,525 option, you get a 360-degree view camera, rear pedestrian alert, memory seats, as well as memory seats, memory mirrors, memory power steering wheel, like I was mentioning with the memory seat adjustments like I was talking about right there, as well as second row outboard heated seats. So just this guy gets a heated seat and just that guy gets a heated seat. And as you can tell, this does have the captain's chairs, so there is no middle seat in there anyway. Moving over to here, climate control settings right here. I can turn it on and I'll show you guys that it tells you the temperature of what you guys are blowing your HVAC at right there. This is a tri-zone climate control system. So you got one person here has a different temperature, as well as the people in the back can have a different temperature. And we'll move into the rear here in a second, but let me turn that right back off. You got your audio controls right here, as well as to control the screen. Heated front seats only. There are no ventilated front seats, but you can get that as an option if you move up to a different trim level. USB-A, USB-C port right there, as well as a 12-volt outlet right there. You got a wireless charging pad down here as well, and it's a good amount of space. So if you got a pretty big phone like an iPhone Pro Max, it'll fit in there, no problem. You don't got to worry about your wireless charging pad being a little bit too small, because it's not. It's actually pretty big, and I'll put like a Deer Park water bottle in there again for size reference, just like that. 2 cup holders right here. You got a cup holder in the door over there, as well as a cup holder in the door right here. Like I mentioned when I put my Deer Park water bottle in right there. But HVAC vent right here, HVAC vent here, as well as here and over there. And if you notice, you got this little door right here, so all you got to do is pinch it and slide it to the right, and that will reveal a little sunglass place. So if you want to put your sunglasses in there, you can do that. Or, you know, if you want to put whatever you want to in there, you can do that as well. But personally, I would put my sunglasses in there because there's no other sunglass holder in the Tahoe. Hazard button. And obviously all of this control is for your sunroof right here. So if I want to slide the sunroof up, all you got to do is do that, and it'll pop up just like that. Closing it, all you got to do is that, and this will tilt it again just like that, and we'll close it right there. And this controls your shade right there. But let's keep that open because I like it open. You get your OnStar stuff right here, passenger airbag information, and to open up the rear tailgate, all you got to do is push this button right here, and the rear tailgate pops open just like that. Push the button again, and then it closes. And you can adjust it to open up to 3/4 or max. So if you want it to open up all the way, all you got to do is twist it all the way to the left, and it is on max. If you want these seats to fold down, you got these buttons right here, and it'll fold the seats down just like that. Easy as that. And if you want them to go right back up, just hold them and they go right back up just like that. So pretty nice feature to have. You got your LED lights right in here for your driver and your passenger, as well as your universal garage door opener right there as well. And if you don't want the lights to come on when you open up the door, you can just push that button right there. It illuminates that little light right there. And then every time you open up the door, the lights do not turn on. However, I got my door open right now. If I click the button again, the lights will come on just like that, as you can see. Push that button again. I'm gonna close my door. Actually, push that button again. Microphone for talking on the phone with your Bluetooth. And opening this up, you see you got a light here, and you got your mirror right there. Closing that, auto dimming rear view mirror right here. Got a little space to set your phone down if you don't want your phone to rest in the wireless charging pad or in your cup holder. You set your phone down right here, and my iPhone 11 Pro Max fits in here just fine. And that's a pretty big phone. So popping this open reveals another USB-C and another USB-A port right here. And you can move that. And it's a pretty deep amount of storage space. I could fit about my whole forearm in there. So good amount of storage space down in there for whatever you want to put in there. And if you want this little divider to be in here to set like hand sanitizer or sunglasses or whatever you want to put in there, you can do that as well. Just leave that just like that. Or if you want to take it out, you can do that as well. But I'm going to leave that thing in there because this is not my car. Glove box right over here. Opening her up, good amount of space. Obviously that's where you're going to put your owner's manual, some napkins, maybe some straws, whatever you usually put in your glove box. You won't have any worries about limited storage space because it's a good amount of storage space right in there. But closing that, got a little bit more storage space right in here. So if you want to set papers or something like that, you can do that. But yeah, I definitely like how much storage space is right up here for the driver as well as for the passenger, because there's also one of these spots on this side as well. So definitely a pretty nice dashboard as well, leather wrapped. Very nice feel. Chevy definitely stepped up their game for 2022, especially with that new 12-inch screen for the driver. Definitely a big fan of that. So yeah, Chevy's definitely not playing around anymore. They're making their vehicles very, very nice. And the infotainment screen right here, as well as the dash, was what a lot of people were complaining about with the 2020 and the 2021 Tahoes and Sierra 1500s, as well as Silverados and stuff like that. So Chevy listened to them, and they definitely gave us what we wanted. So no complaints there. And let's move into the rear. Moving into the rear, you can see that satin steel metallic right there glistening in the sunlight. This is a beautiful, beautiful paint color matched to the Z71 package because you got all those black elements, black trim pieces. It just looks very, very good. And it would look even better with those black multi-spoke 20-inch wheels that I was talking about. But moving in, door panel right here, basically the same as the front, same nice materials. Got your leather wrapped door panel at the top right here, wood trim followed by some aluminum trim right there, aluminum door handle, as well as your unlock and lock button right there for your rear 2 seats right there. Automatic down windows, however, if you want the window to go up, you do have to hold it. A little bit of storage space in here for your phone, as well as down here for like a water bottle. You can fit a big smart water bottle right here, or whatever you want to put in there, you know, that's just fine. Chevrolet door sill right here, and nice captain's chairs. But let's step in. And basically sitting in these seats for the first time, these seats are very, very comfortable. I'm adjusted to myself. I am 5'9", and I got plenty of leg room right here, as well as plenty of knee room, so I can extend my legs and be very, very comfortable, and could definitely see myself doing a long road trip in this Tahoe. And what makes it even better is that you got a nice little armrest if you get the captain's chairs right here, as well as on this side as well. So if you want your rear 2 passengers to be very comfortable, definitely get the captain's chairs. I would definitely say that's a must option if you're only having 4 passengers for the most part. Got a grab handle right here, your HVAC vent, as well as your light right there. Again, your panoramic sunroof. You can definitely see what's going on above you in the second row right here. So I think that's an awesome option, like I said when we were in the front. But like I mentioned, tri-zone climate control. So you got your climate control settings right here for everybody in the rear. 2 cup holders right here, and you can set your phone going horizontally right here if you want to do so. Again, USB-C port, another USB-C port, as well as your household outlet right down here. You got your outboard heated seats for your second row only. Third row is not heated. And you got your Bose speakers right here, as well as over there. So very nice looking interior, and you also have your seat back pockets both on the driver and passenger seat right there. Moving back here, if you guys didn't know, in 2021 Chevy put an independent rear suspension in the Tahoe as well as the Suburban, so you get 10 inches more legroom back here in the Tahoe, which is awesome. And you can definitely tell that you got those extra 10 inches of legroom if you sat in like an old Tahoe or something like that. I got plenty of knee room right here, as well as plenty of legroom as well. And what's funny is that the cup holders get a little bit smaller when you move into the third row, so you can only fit like a Deer Park water bottle size right there, as well as just a little bit of storage space for, I don't even know what you would put right there. And you got a USB-C port right here, as well as a USB-C port on this side as well. And if it's at night, you got a nice little illuminated ring around the USB-C port. Not too bright, but it makes it just a little bit easier to see it at night. HVAC vent right here. You got a little coat hanger right here, as well as your 2 LED lights for your third row passengers right up here as well. Very, very comfortable third row seat. Definitely very comfortable. I could definitely see myself even doing a long road trip in the back right here as well. And if you guys have kids that are young and you want them to be quiet on long road trips, you can get an optional 12.6-inch touchscreen for both this side and that side. And you can connect your Xbox and stuff like that to the screens. So I definitely think that's an option you might want to look into if you got annoying kids on like a long road trip or something like that, and you want them to just be quiet and stay entertained. That's definitely a feature that I would look into. But if your kids have iPads or iPhones or something like that, then maybe you can skip that option. But that's definitely an option you might want to look into if your kids get, you know, just a little antsy on longer road trips. But definitely plenty of room back here. Definitely no complaints. It's very, very comfortable. I can definitely extend my legs all the way right here in the middle seat in the third row, as you can see right there. So even the middle seat's very comfortable. And you got a good amount of space right over here. One thing I would have liked to see though is a little padded armrest right here in the third row, but that's definitely no biggie. Because really, how often are you going to be having people in the third row of your Tahoe anyway? I don't really know, but I don't think it's a big issue anyway. But if you want these seats to fold down, all you got to do is push this button right here. Seat folds down just like that. And if you want it to go flip up, just pull this little tab right here and the seat comes up, and it makes it just that much easier to get in and out of the third row like that. Fold that back down and fold her right back up like that. And you can slide the seat forward and backward by this little lever right here. So seat forward, slide her back, and it's back in the position that it was. If you want the seat to fold down just like it did, all you gotta do is click this button twice and it'll do the same thing, or you could just pull this tab again. Makes it just a little bit easier to grab onto. But closing that, opening this up again, and we'll slide the seat back to where it was and close that door right there. So, you know, we've talked about the performance, we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the interior. Now let's see what this thing's like to drive. So I will see you guys in the driver's seat. And now onto the driving portion of the review. And, you know, basically right off the bat, one thing I wanted to say is just how smooth that this thing drives. It's very, very smooth. Definitely going over bumps, it takes them very, very well. Like I said, you got that fully independent rear suspension now. So that definitely makes a big difference when going over bumps and stuff. It's not so like bouncy and stuff in the rear. It's very, very smooth, and that's like over like pretty jarring bumps as well. It's very, very smooth. Like I said, this does have the 5.3 liter V8, and it's got more than adequate power. You know, it sounds very, very good when you like downshift or something, when you're trying to like pass somebody, or if you're just trying to accelerate. It just sounds very, very good. And like I said, you can get the 6.2 liter V8 as an option if you so desire for the Z71. However, you cannot get the 3 liter Duramax for the Z71 trim level. And like I said on the interior part of the review, I'm a big fan of the 12-inch screen that they incorporated new for 2022. It's very customizable. You know, you got your different display layouts that you can display. You got classic, progressive, digital, and clean. Like I mentioned earlier, my favorite is clean. However, I also do like classic because you get a little bit more information with classic, and it tells you your RPMs, and it also tells you your speed as well. And you know, it's somewhat similar to like the 2021s with the 8-inch screen, like on the Denali or like some of the nicer Tahoes. You got the 8-inch screen with the analog speedometer and the analog RPM gauge. It's kind of similar to that, except the whole thing is a digital layout. It also reminds me of like the C8 Corvette. It's very similar to that. I'm sure it's probably the same, if not very, very similar, like I mentioned. But I really like the colors that they used. I know that's something you're like, what the heck? You like the colors that are on the screen? But yes, nice blue, calm colors. And like I said, we're going over a couple pretty jarring bumps, and it just takes it so well. The interior is just very, very quiet. So definitely big fan of this Z71. And this doesn't even have the air ride suspension like you can get as an option on the Z71, and it still rides very, very good. It's a coil on spring suspension, and like I mentioned, it just rides very, very smooth. It's definitely not too bouncy. Like sometimes when you go over bumps that rock you from side to side, it can get a little bit bouncy, but that's not the case with this new 2022 Tahoe. It just rides very, very smooth. It's very well composed. But yeah, I'm just like a big fan. It's very, very comfortable. Like these seats seem, and you know, you might call me crazy because they might not be too much different than, you know, the older seats, but the seats both in the driver and the rear seats are just very, very comfortable, and they feel a little bit more padded than like previous seats that GM used, like 2020, 2021. And maybe they didn't change the comfortability of the seat, but it just feels very, very comfortable. You got your side bolsters on the right and left side, and like I said, I'm 5'9", I'm 145 pounds, and I just fit very, very nicely in here. You can definitely fit a bigger person, like if you're 250, 300 pounds, I still think that you'd be very, very comfortable. Like, and you know, you get one of these trucks, like if you're a bigger person, you got a family and stuff like that, so where you can have like just tons and tons of leg room, tons and tons of headroom. So yeah, nothing to complain about. But let's get on the highway here. And you can hear that 5.3 liter V8 just scream. Man, that thing sounds really, really good. 10-speed transmission, like I said, and we probably just went through a whole lot of gas because, like I said, 14 miles per gallon city, 19 miles per gallon highway. So definitely not the best fuel economy. Like I mentioned, if you're looking at getting a Tahoe but you want something that gets good fuel economy, look elsewhere than the Z71. You can get like the LT, the High Country, or the RST, and you can get the 3 liter Duramax. And like I mentioned in my previous videos before and in this video as well, the 3 liter Duramax gets very, very good gas mileage. I'm not sure the exact gas mileage that it would get on the Tahoe, but I'll list the exact figures for the 3 liter Duramax on this Tahoe right here. I'll list it on screen. That 3 liter Duramax makes 460 pound-feet of torque, so you definitely don't feel like you're low on power by any means. And that Duramax is definitely, it's not a loud motor. It's actually very, very quiet. And I think that if you guys test drove one with the Duramax, I think you guys would really, really like it. But like I mentioned, you cannot get the Duramax on the Z71. So your only options are the 5.3 and the 6.2. And you know, the 5.3 is plenty of power. Like if you're not like super interested in like horsepower or acceleration or anything like that, like I think the 5.3 would be plenty of power for you. One thing that I did want to mention, and I'll throw a little video on screen right here, is that the little side trim pieces on the right and left side of the steering wheel where you have your hands at 9 and 3, it's like a painted type of trim piece. And you know, I'm not sure how well that would hold up over like 150,000 miles. Maybe it might start turning like black or whatever color that this piece is actually under that paint. So that's just one thing that you might want to watch out for. Maybe don't put your hands at the 9 and 3 grip and it won't wear it down. But I've seen that on like other makes and models of vehicles where like on the steering wheel, the trim pieces at the 9 and 3 grip kind of get worn down and they look just a little bit worn. But you know, this is a brand new vehicle. If you're not going to keep this much more than like 150,000 miles, that's definitely something that you don't have to worry about. But I thought I might throw it out there if you're going to keep a vehicle that long. And even if you do keep the vehicle that long, it's not a big deal, man. Like it's just a little bit of trim piece that's a little bit faded. But you know, other than that, this is a very, very solid vehicle. Like I said, Bose 9-speaker sound system sounds very, very good. And I'm just very impressed with like the Bose sound systems in basically any car. Like I was driving the Porsche Macan. I did a video on Porsche Macan GTS, and that thing also had, I think it was like a 9 or 10 speaker Bose sound system, and it just sounded so good. So the Bose sound system, if you're an audio freak, is definitely a must. It just sounds very, very good. But you know, the overall fit and finish of this vehicle is just very, very nice. You got the leather wrapped steering wheel. You got really nice leather materials both on the door panel as well as your center console right here, the dash, like I mentioned, the steering wheel. It's just very, very nice place to be, especially on a long road trip. Like I mentioned, very, very comfortable ride. And it's just super easy to drive. The steering is pretty light. The brake pedal, I'm a big fan of the brake pedal on this vehicle. I drove the 2021 GMC Yukon XL Denali, and the brake pedal between this and that actually feel a little bit different. I don't feel like I have to push the brake pedal as far down on this vehicle, and obviously the Yukon XL is definitely a little bit heavier, so that's where you got to push the brake pedal down a little bit more. But the brake pedal feel on this is firm. It's very, very nice. It's got bite basically right where you want it. You don't have to push the brake pedal that hard in order to get it to stop. So really like the brake pedal. And like I said, 5.3, plenty of power. Sounds very, very good. Just the gas mileage is not there. And if you're looking for gas mileage, like I mentioned, you're going to want to look at a different trim level. But I really like the way that this thing looks with the black grille, the black front and rear emblems. You got the black window trim surround around the mirrors, around the windows. You got the black roof rails. It just looks very, very good. And the satin steel metallic with those black trim pieces really, really make this vehicle look very, very nice. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm really gunning for 1,000 subscribers, and we're only 25 subscribers away. So I would really appreciate it if you guys hit that subscribe button, gave this video a big thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys think of the Tahoe Z71, and let me know, would you get the Z71? Would you get the LT? Would you get the High Country? Let me know what trim level you guys would get. But with that said, I'll see you guys in the next review. Peace.